So Michelle, today is your great day. Yom Kippur begins for you right now. You know what Yom Kippur is all about? Yom Kippur is God's greatest cleaning machine. Gewalt, while you wait, right? And you know something, the way God cleans, not only it doesn't hurt, but it feels so good. It feels so good, God. God, is it good? You know, friends, imagine if someone didn't take a bath for 2,000 years and someone offers you a bath. Aren't you jumping in with some, it feels so good, right? And you know, Michelle, I envy you. We had Yom Kippur a few months ago, but all of us need a Yom Kippur so badly. Do I need a little cleaning? But now listen to the most beautiful thing, Michelle. This is so beautiful. You know, it's your Yom Kippur, right? You know, when you invite someone to the wedding, you know what you're telling them? I want you to come not only to share my joy, I want you to share my Yom Kippur. So special. God, is it special? And you know, when you come to a wedding, sometimes you can see it. If they just invite you for the feast, just invite you to fill the chairs, or the mamash invite you to the Yom Kippur. If the mamash invite you to the building of the Beis HaMikdash. You know, one more thing. You know, at the end of the chuppah, you break a glass. Because I remember the Holy Temple, and I break a glass. So I should break glasses every day, right? Each time I remember the Holy Temple, I should step on a glass. Why do you do it by a chuppah? I'm just giving it over to you, Michelle. You know what it is? You know, anything I have never known, I never felt, I cannot cry over. When I see something, how beautiful it is, and when that is destroyed, then I'm crying. Where did you ever see the Holy Temple rebuilt? You know what happens to you under the chuppah? God shows you the Holy Temple rebuilt. So special. So special. You know which Holy Temple God is showing you? Not the first and not the second. The third temple, which is indestructible. Indestructible. And then suddenly you realize, Gewalt, why can't the whole world see it? And one more thing. You know, after you saw the Holy Temple rebuilt, you know what you say to God? Until you really rebuild the Holy Temple, I'll be so broken. Because I saw already how beautiful it is. So a second before you leave the chuppah, you say to God, Master of the world, you want me to be happy in my marriage? I can't. Because I saw the Holy Temple. And it's destroyed. So if you want me to be happy, you have to rebuild it. So I want you to know when the chosen steps on the glass, he has mamash God in the palm of his hand. You know what the Holy Rabbiner says? A bride and a groom under the chuppah have God in the palm of their hand. Because God wants them to be happy. If they would mean it, if they would really say to God, Master of the world, as long as there's so many broken glasses in the world, as long as there's so many broken hearts, Master of the world, I cannot rejoice. You have to fix it. Then redemption would come immediately. And I just want to share one Yom Kippur story with you, friends. Forgive me. And after that, we make a little intermission, and then one, my holy friend and Rabbi has those beautiful melodies, and we'll rejoice again. But I want to tell you something. The Heilige Rabbi the Melech, one time his pupils asked him, Rabbi, how do you celebrate Erev Yom Kippur? Like today before you, how do you celebrate? So he says, tell you the truth, I don't know how to do it. But Moshe, the shoemaker, he knows how to do it. So the Chassidim, the Taf Chassidim, the Robshitzer, the Sea of Lublin, they went and they stood behind the windows of Moshe, the shoemaker, to see what he does. He eats, and then he says to his children, okay, the great moment is here. Bring out the two books. They bring out a huge book and a small book. And he says, God, Master of the world, it's me again, Moshe the shoemaker. God, I want to read you something. The little book is the book of my sins, but the heavy book is the book of your sins. Let me read you my sins. I yelled at my wife. I yelled at my children. I asked for too much money for the shoes. I kept a piece of leather. Keeps on reading. He says, God, you have to admit, there are minor sins. Let me read you your sins. Starts reading. Her mother died and left 9 children. Master of the world, was that nice of you? He starts reading, there's a war in the world. Thousands of people. Master of the world, this is a major crime. And he keeps on reading whatever Moshe, the shoemaker, knows about the world. He says, God, it's Erev Yom Kippur. If you forgive me, I forgive you. And the Rabbi the Melech, when they came back, Gewalt was he crying. Gewalt was he crying. He says, Master of the world, Gewalt. Don't you know Moshe the shoemaker had God in the palm of his hands? He would have said to God, God, I won't forgive you. You have to redeem the world. The Messiah would have come. So Michelle, tomorrow you have God in the palm of your hands. Don't let the one and the only one, don't let him go away without telling him, no, Master of the world. You know something? Tomorrow, Michelle, you and Jerry, you can fix the Holy Land. Because it takes only one real prayer. One real prayer. So we bless you, Michelle. Whatever you and Jerry and all of us bless you and pray for you and with you should be fulfilled. Mazel tov, friends. We have 5 minutes intermission, and then Michal will sing. Thank you so much. Infinite light. And I want to share something with you. Imagine we should all have children, and our children should live long. Imagine you talk to your child. Sometimes you talk to your children on an adult level. And then sometimes children, you talk to them like a little baby talk, right? On their level. I want to ask you the deepest question in the world. When are you closer to them? When you talk adult talk, or when you talk baby talk to them? You don't know, right? Gewalt is that deep. Oh, Gewalt. You know what it is? You know when it's like BaOmer? In the middle of baby talk, right? Because on Pesach, God talks to us like adults, gives us the whole thing. But then we can't, we're still human beings, right? We're God's little babies. So in the middle of all this baby talk, measuring, you know, when I tell something to my baby, I have to measure it exactly how much they can take, right? Suddenly it's like BaOmer. And it's clear to us that God is not telling us baby stuff. You know, sometimes you can tell a baby more than to an adult because it's so deep. And the way they listen with all their hearts, so deep. Okay, I want to sing in honor of Michal and Yitzchak and all the whole musicians I've won. I wanted to sing yesterday, Rabbi Yitzchak, but it was singing, suddenly I got caught up with this making a new melody, so I'm still owing the Rabbi Yitzchak singing. Give me a minor. All of you sing loud. You know, beautiful friends, the truth is if I had time now for, I don't know how long, hours to talk to Michelle about the wedding, I would gladly do it. But I want to make it just one more thing. Remember I told you, Michelle, that at the moment when your holy chusn covers your face, at that moment your children come from heaven, right? But you know who else comes? All the 6 million. All the people who had never children and they didn't go to their wedding, right? So they say to God, please let me see a Jewish wedding. So they all come and God tells them, you see, he didn't live forever. So I want to bless you. I want to bless you, first of all, how much you should feel your children's little hands holding on to you. And now bless you should feel the 6 million walking behind you with so much simcha that Baruch Shem. You know, there's one thing which is indestructible, Jeden. Unbelievable. You know what it is to get married? Suddenly to become part of Jewish eternity. So deep, so deep. So deep, so deep. You know, a person can live all his life, do every mitzvah in the world, but without children, you're not part of Jewish eternity. And the moment you get married, what a privilege. And now, everybody knows that the bride buys the groom a talus, right? And this talus is so deep, a prayer shawl. You know, friends, until you find your soulmate, somebody to real talk to from heart to heart, you don't even know how to talk to God either. Because you cannot believe that there was somebody who really listens to you. But when you meet your soulmate, there's one person in the world who mamish hears you. And you think, maybe God hears me also. So this is my story. The best talus I hear about. Okay, so give me the manner. Everybody knows, give me harmony. The Heilige Pinchas Koretz, one of the greatest pupils of the BaOmer. He was the rabbi of Koretz, a little village in Russia. And you and I know, 250 years ago, every Jew kept Shabbos, every Jew went 3 times a day to the synagogue, every Jew ate kosher. But there was one Jew in Koretz. He never went to the synagogue. Nobody ever saw him buying kosher meat. There was only one place where he was found every night. In the kretschmer, in the bar. And he was drinking. But he was a tailor. And basically, the whole Jewish community had nothing to do with him. But when your pants are torn, you need a tailor. You go to him. One morning, the Pinchas comes to the synagogue and he sees the shamus is asking everyone, can you do something? And everybody says no. So the Pinchas says, what's going on here? So the shamus says, somebody low, disgusting, creepy died and nobody wants to go to the funeral. The Pinchas says, why, who died? He says, the worst Jew in Koretz, the tailor. The Pinchas began crying from the deepest depths of his heart. And he says, Gewalt, 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 Gewalt. My best friend, my sweetest friend. The holy tailor left the world. He says, what time is the funeral? I'm going. So when the whole community heard Pinchas is going, and it was also clear to them he was never in the synagogue, so there was only one way out. He must have been one of the 36 holy hidden tzaddikim. Most probably he's one of the Lamed of tzaddikim, the holy of holiest. The whole community came running to the funeral. Everybody walked behind him crying. And he says, Schneiderl, holy tailor, pray for me. Pray for my children. Nobody ever had a funeral like this tailor. On that day, Rabbi, also one of the greatest pupils of the BaOmer, came to visit Rabbi Pinchas. After the funeral was over, Yevis says to Pinchas, Pinchas, you can fool the whole city, right? They think he was like one of the 36. But you and I know that he was not. And you and I know that he was really a little bit of a rotten Jew. He didn't keep Shabbos. He never went to shul. He says, why did he have the privilege of having such a funeral? Why did you cry so much? So this is what Rabbi Pinchas said. He says, you remember, in my house I had an orphan girl. All the children have their parents forever. Fegele. And my wife and I found a little other orphan boy in another village. And we made a shidduch. And 2 weeks ago, we made the wedding for them. I borrowed money from every Jew in Koretz to make the wedding beautiful. 1 second before the chuppah, the groom says to me, Rabbi, the bride forgot to buy me a new tallis. I says, oi, so sorry I forgot. I says, do me a favor. A new tallis is 10 rubles. I don't have it. And I don't even have the heart to ask more people for loans. I don't have it. I'll buy you a tallis in a few weeks. But this boy has nobody. He says to me, Rabbi, next Shabbos when I go to shul in an old torn tallis, everybody will laugh at me. I didn't have the heart to say no to him. I says, wait, let me see if I can scratch the money together. I'm walking down the street and I decide the first house which has a light, I'm knocking on the door. Oh, my heart is so heavy, every step, 2,000 tons. I see a house, the light is on, I knock on the door. Somebody opened. With so much heart, with so much soul, with so much sweetness, and nobody ever in my life opened the door for me. Like the tailor. And the tailor says to me, Holy Master, Heilige Rebbe, I can't believe that you're knocking on my door. All my life I am dreaming. Maybe, one day, you will knock on my door. And let me tell you, Heilige Rabbi, for you, there's nothing I wouldn't do. Oh, I was so touched. He gave me back my heart, my soul. I says, Schneiderl, Taylor, do you remember Fegele? Everybody knew Fegele. Says, you know, Fegele, tonight is a wedding night, and I have to buy a new tallis, and I just need 10 rubles. And the tailor says, Rebbe, the truth is, if I had it, I'd give it to you, but I'll give you 1 ruble. 1 ruble. For a tailor, it's also a lot of money. I blessed him, and I walk out, and my heart was not heavy anymore, and I was sure in a few minutes I'll have the 10 ruble. I have walked a few houses. I hear somebody running after me. I stopped and I waited. Or was it Tyler Schneider? Couldn't talk. Was crying, sobbing from the deepest depths of his heart. I said, Schneider, man süße Yid, tell me what hurts you. He says, Rebbe, I'm ashamed to ask you, but I have to ask you. Tell me the truth. If I give you the whole 10 rubles, do you think I will share in the coming world? I put my hands on the head of the tailor, and this is what I said. I swear to you, by the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I swear to you in the name of the 4 holy mothers, if you do such a big mitzvah, to give 10 rubles for Fegele, I swear to you, you'll have a share in the coming world. And Rabbi Pinchas says, I want you to know, as I walked behind the coffin, I saw his neshama was wrapped in the talus he bought for Fegeland. He didn't even stand before the court in heaven. The angels carried him in the talus to his place in the world to come. Bum 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 bum. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Do do do. I want to know one more thing. I don't know if you already met Elijah the prophet. Maybe you did. But let me tell you, tomorrow night you'll meet him. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Okay. I want you to know something. I don't know what about you. I have trouble leaving, to tell you the truth. You know why? I'll tell you why. First of all, I'm standing next to Rabbi Michael, who's mamish the best, the holiest. And next to Shirley, who is the sweetest of the sweet. And next to Heilige Avram. Where's Avram? Over there. Heilige Yitzchak. Holy Daryl, Gewalt. And is Shaik is still here? Shaik is here? No. Judy is here? No. Shoshana is here and Leber? Yeah. Okay. Hey. And Josh and Lillian, Mamash, I want to bless you, Steph Nachas, from your children, from your grandchildren and everything. And where's Eitan? Oh, only Eitan. Give out. You know, I'm a little nearsighted. Didn't see him because of the light. You're the best, the sweetest, the greatest, the tallest. Listen, let me tell you, friends. I want to tell you something very deep. You know, in a time of war, imagine you have to send a secret message. The king has to send a secret message to his soldiers. He's not taking a general dressed in the uniform with all his medals. He sends a schlepper, Nobody expects him to send a message, right? Because he gets through, nobody stops him. You know, this is the last war between good and evil in the world. And we are little messengers from one Jew to the other, from God to the Jews. So you know whom God has chosen to give over messages? Little schlepperlach like you and I. We don't look like much, and people don't think we are anything. But you know what? We look low enough that nobody stops us. And we get through. We get through. I want you to know the greatest message is to bring a message from Yerushalayim to every Jew in the world. Let them know Gewalt. The Holy Temple is not destroyed. It just looks destroyed. Because we are destroyed. The Holy Temple is right there waiting for you. The greatest message from one Jew to the other is, I want you to know, the Torah lives. The Torah is alive. Every word of the Torah is so deep. So deep. And you know what the greatest crime against Judaism is? To think, God forbid, the 5 books of Moses, it's what it says in English. The greatest crime against Yiddishkeit is if you think the prayer book is what it says in English, even the best translation. So much deeper. Not so much deeper, deepest. Deepest depths. I want you to know something, just because of Rabbi Shimon Yochai. You know that Torah begins Bereshis, at the beginning, right? So you translate this as, at the beginning God created heaven and earth. Let me ask you, if the Torah would not say at the beginning, then you would think at the end God created heaven and earth, right? Stupid, right? Obviously at the beginning, right? When did God create heaven and earth? First he created bagels, then gefilte fish, and then heaven and earth? What do you mean when? What are we talking about? Okay, you know, if you're not into it, I want to share a story with you. The Kovetz Rabbi Shimon Yochai. You know what Bereshis means? Not at the beginning, with the beginning. Someone asks you, what did God put into heaven and earth? What did God put into nature? You know what God put into nature? Into our very lives? That you can always begin again. You can always begin again. And Beis Reishis means you can begin twice. When you begin the first time, or when you fail, you can begin again. So I want to share with you just a fast story. I'm sitting on a plane going from New York to Boston. And it so happens I had with me the Beis Yaakov Ishbitzer. And you know, I just gave you this Torah of Rabbi Shimon Yochai in a nutshell. But the Beis Yaakov is a long Torah, you know, earth-shaking, soul-shaking. Next to me is a non-Jewish brother. We start talking to each other. And he says to me, what are you learning? And it was one day after Simchas Torah, when the next portion is Bereshis. I say, my dear brother, do you ever study the Bible? And he tells me that he lives in Maine, and there's a whole group who broke away from his church because the priest doesn't say enough deep Torahs. He says, hey, you should join my synagogue. We all are dropouts from the rest, you know, we want to learn something deep. So we had 2 more minutes to be learned. I said, let me share with you a Torah from Rabbi Shimon Yochai. Bereshit doesn't mean at the beginning. It means when God created the world, he filled it with beginnings. Because you know something? If a person wants to commit suicide, you go down to the beach and you look at the water, you can't commit suicide. Because nature gives you the strength to begin again, right? Imagine you're so sad, you just wash your face with water, you're less sad. The wind, you stand and the wind is blowing, gives you so much hope. But then it says, I want you to know, Beis Reishis. Rabbi Shimon Yochai says, you can begin twice. When you begin, and when you fail, you can begin again. Okay, 10 years later, I'm giving a concert near Boston. And suddenly a man walks in, with his wife and with his daughter. He is crying. He hugs me. His wife is crying, and his daughter has tears in her eyes. And I have seen this man. I don't know what it is. So the woman begins to tell me the story. She says, "You remember this non-Jewish brother who was next to you on the plane to Boston?" I look at him. Yes, my man. I said, "The one who broke away from his church?" He said, yeah. Anyway, this is the story. When I met him, he was a multimillionaire. Multimillionaire. Top. A few years later, something happened. He went absolutely bankrupt, but just not. Sometimes you go bankrupt and you go to Switzerland to have a rest, and you write a letter to other people, you owe money, wish you were here, you know, things like that. That's the way. Most people go bankrupt today, but he, mamish, went bankrupt. And he just didn't have the strength to go through the shame. He bought himself a pistol and decided to commit suicide. Okay, he decided to commit suicide, and he's very, you know, he's a straight person, has an office, and he's still a millionaire, although he has nothing left. He bought himself a pistol, and he decided at 5 o'clock, I'm shooting myself. It was 4:45. Wait. He thinks, what should I do the last few minutes? Let's study the Bible. He opens the first page. It says at the beginning. Suddenly he remembered the Torah from Rabbi Shimon Yochai. There's always another beginning. Even if you fail the first beginning, there's a second beginning. Beis Reishis. He called up his wife, and his daughter says, "Please come here immediately." I had decided to shoot myself, but I'm not. Because I remember a message from a holy rabbi 2,000 years ago who said there's two beginnings. So she said, "My husband and we owe you the life because you were a messenger from Shimon Yochai, right?" Friends, you never know. You never know whom you have to give the message. We just keep on giving messages. Mamish don't know. And you know something else? Don't ever say to yourself, this person is not interested. You don't know. You know, people are not ashamed to say, I'm hungry, I'm going to a restaurant, I'm hungry. But people are ashamed to admit, my soul is so empty. My life is so broken. Give me a drop of water. Give me some holy word from Mount Sinai. Give me a ray of light from Yerushalayim HaKodesh. Anyway, I want to bless you, Michelle. You know, Western Union, they have a machine there and they receive all the messages. Then they give them out. Bless you, your house should be one of God's Western Union's machines. Get all the messages and then give it out. Okay, we're going to sing one more fast song. Give me E minor.
Hashem Elokeinu, Meheinu, Meheinu, Hashem Elokeinu, Meheinu, Meheinu, Hashem Elokeinu, Ayoed Yeshoma, Yoreh Yehuda, Ayo Bechutzos, Yerushalayim, Ayoed Yeshoma, Yoreh Hashem Elokeinu, Meheinu, Meheinu, Hashem Elokeinu, Meheinu, Meheinu, השם אלוקינו היעד ישמע ירא יהודה היאו בחוצי ירושלים Hashem Elokeinu Hayayid Yeshama Yoreh Yehuda Hayu Bechutzai Yerushalayim Hayrarararo Yeshama Yehuda Hayu Bechutzais Yerushalayim Ay ay rai 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 Shem Elokeinu Meiro Meiro Shem Elokeinu Meiro Meiro Shem Elokeinu Rai 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 Brizo